A dark fantastic network presentation. Last scene. A mystery.
Michelle is missing? Since when? William said. I'm not sure. A couple of days, I think, Johnny said. What happened? She was out with some friends and then, poof, nobody could find her. Was she in some kind of trouble? I don't know, Billy. Okay. Is Lara here? William said, looking around slowly, focused now. Johnny smiled. That I can help you with. William moved through the crowd. A few said hello, most of whom William hadn't seen since high school. He slowed down, spoke a few words to Dina, a short, thin, soft-spoken woman who used to be a short, thin, soft-spoken girl. He'd always liked her kindness and sweet, shy smile. And seeing her now brought a flood of memories, some of them pleasant, some of them distantly painful. They parted ways, promising to stay in touch, and he sincerely hoped they would. He hadn't realized how much he'd missed her. He headed for the door to the terrace and was almost there when he ran into George Cooper. Billy Last? Is that you? Hi, Cooper. Cooper swooped in, imprisoned William in a stifling bear hug. There was little William could do. Cooper was bigger and stronger. A couple of torturous seconds and William was free again. How are you? It's been, 10, 15 years? Just about, William said, trying to sound both polite and in a hurry at the same time. Hell, how have you been? He looked William up and down, obviously unimpressed with his physique. To Cooper, body mass was king. You look good, Cooper said, the insincerity in his voice almost making William laugh. Instead, William smiled and said thanks. So, what are you up to? Right now, I'm just looking around, catching up with friends. Good. How do you like the party? It's great. A great idea. Yeah, a kind of informal high school reunion. I hate those, you know. Reunions, I mean. I thought a more informal get-together would be more fun. Less tension. Less expectations. William nodded, waiting for an opportune moment to get away. Come on. Let's get drunk and reminisce. Thanks, but I don't drink. Cooper looked shocked. Then what are you doing here? It's the whole point of this event, Cooper said, laughing. William looked over Cooper's shoulder at the terrace. I'm supposed to meet someone. I'll catch you later. It was good to see you. Cooper said, same here. Don't forget to have a drink with me before you leave. He smiled, then said, sorry. My mistake. Okay. See you, William said, and headed for the terrace. She was standing there, a silhouette against the skyline. She was looking out at the city, lost in thought. Lara? She didn't startle, didn't instantly turn to face him. Instead, she slowly retreated from her reverie and turned around. He tried to hide his feelings. But seeing her now, for the first time in more than 12 years, it was no use. He knew she could see it in his face. How nervous he was. How glad he was to see her again. She smiled. Hi, Billy. He tentatively moved towards her. He didn't want to look too eager. It's good to see you again, he said, and knew how lame he sounded. But it was the best he could do at the moment, with all that was going on inside his head. Joy at seeing her, sadness at losing her, and a longing to be close to her again. It's great to see you, she said, coming closer, closer. Then she was there, before him, leaning forward, kissing him gently on the cheek, her touch, her perfume, flooding his senses. She pulled away, looked at him for a moment. How did you know I was out here? I know you don't like crowds. So, I took a guess, and here I am. She nodded. Touched. Last time I heard, you were working at a radio station, she said. That's right. I always knew you'd follow your heart, she said. I try, he said. You're the only person I know who works at a radio station. I think it's great, you doing what you love. What's it like? Doing what I love? She laughed a gentle laugh. Working at a radio station. It's cozy. What do you do, exactly? I'm a producer. Which means I write for a couple of shows, I help with some of the technical stuff, and occasionally I go on the air myself. That sounds fantastic. It is. Sometimes. Good, she said, nodding. She walked to the railing, looked down. He stood by her side. I heard about Michelle. I'm sorry, he said. She turned to him, suddenly looking tired. Thanks. Have you contacted the police? She nodded, turned away. They say they'll start looking for her tomorrow when it becomes official. Her going missing, I mean. Do you have any idea where she might be? She turned to him again, and he felt it, that energy, that intelligence that was so alive within her. One of the many things that fascinated him about her. I don't know. The last couple of years, we sort of drifted apart. When did you see her last? A few months ago. She took a deep breath, looked at one of the glass doors leading into the ballroom. The muted sounds of music and laughter in unwelcome background. I didn't want to come tonight, but I thought it would help somehow. Seeing people who went to school with us. I hoped someone would know something. I even hoped she'd just come back and it would all be over. She shook her head, turned to him. She had a crush on you, you know? In 7th grade. William was taken aback. He'd had no idea. Michelle? Lara nodded, smiled a faint smile, then said, she never told me, but I knew. I guess she thought you were off limits, you being older and all. I had no idea. Yeah. She could be very secretive. I guess it's part of being a kid's sister, always fighting for attention, trying to be taken seriously. He came closer, slowly reached out to her, took her right hand in his. She let him. What are you going to do? I don't know yet, but something's wrong. I can feel it. And she looked at him intensely, all her tiredness fading away in an instant. I need your help, Billy, before it's too late. Suddenly, the sounds of the party grew louder. The door to the terrace was open, and Johnny was standing there, his tie askew, a sweaty drink in each hand. Found you, Johnny said, smiling the smile of the pleasantly drunk. Lara let go of William's hand. It was nice seeing you, Billy. Then she turned to Johnny, smiled a tired smile, and walked away. Johnny watched her go, then turned to William. Bad timing. Sorry. William didn't say anything. He walked to the door and through the glass saw Lara, her back to him, standing next to Cooper, who was helping her put on her coat. Then she turned around and Cooper whispered something in her ear, then kissed her, slowly. She kissed him back, then took his hand in hers as they left the ballroom. Johnny came up to William and saw what he was looking at. I don't know what she sees in him, Johnny said. William turned around, looked at the night sky. What's on your mind? Johnny said. I have to help her, William said. He lowered his gaze, looking at the skyline. It almost overwhelmed him, the immensity of it. All those streets, all those dark corners. All those hiding places.
This has been Last Scene, a Mystery.